Yeah, did you see it for like grades? Did you see it? Yeah, for that episode that I just released, I was like looking at what I was saying because it sounded so weird to hear it like in my headphones. Like I said it works, but I was like, twerks, it licks. I heard it licks at one point, and I was like, what the fuck was I saying?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
In the second episode that I just released for the podcast, it was like the opening. So clearly you haven't listened to it, Miles.
I do. No, I listened to it already.
No.
I just don't remember that
the very opening, the very first thing I said.
Okay.
I was just like, what am I saying? So I put like a little caption in there, like with a question mark. Like, is that what I said? But yeah, I don't know why I went on that tangent.
Okay, that's fine.
But anyway,
welcome to episode
54 minus 1.
Welcome to episode 3
54 minus 1
of the Macbeef-Banquet after show.
My name is Miles' buddy Henry,
and my name is Henry. That's what I was gonna say. My name's Henry, guys.
Yeah, he's Henry number 2. So that's my Peppy Steve.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed last week's episode.
It was pretty hot, I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah, it was good.
Really proud.
It was good.
Hopefully it gets a lot of attention. Probably hasn't.
Nope.
But yeah.
I've watched it.
Listened
to it.
I'm gonna watch it. Listen to it soon. For like the third time. So
yeah, because you were the one who edited it.
Yeah.
So listen to it.
But today we're gonna try and steer clear from comedy. Not as the joke. Topic.
Yeah.
But from joking. We're gonna just try and have a serious conversation today.
Yeah.
We'll pick up with the jokes and the gaffes and the goofs and the goobers next week. But this week we figured we'll
take the comedy hats off and put on our serious hats. Because there's been a death in the family. Eli has finally been taken from this world.
I'm glad you came right out of the gate with another
joke.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, anyway. Go ahead. What are we talking about today?
So, I mean, we can just talk about whatever, but we can start off with, what I wanted to talk about, which was religion, obviously. Okay, I'll start off with asking, what is your current religious status? That sounds weird, marital status.
Right, just like what's on Facebook. What is your status?
What is your religious status?
Your religious status.
And if you don't feel comfortable with giving it, that is all right.
No, too. I'm okay. I can talk about it. I was originally Catholic. I was sort of raised Catholic and chose to be Catholic, but after a while, I think about probably 3 years ago actually, I kind of fell away from Catholic Church, and I sort of started exploring Christianity sort of as a whole with Isaac, and we went to small nighters at his church, and so I got to explore that a little bit. I haven't really gotten the chance to explore any other religions as a whole. I want to, though. That was one of the things I really loved about watching Life of Pi, and I'm sure I'd love to read the book too, but
it's a good book,
sort of like exploring different religions and sort of having the opportunity to do so is pretty cool, because you can sort of see, one, what other people believe and different cultures believe in, and two, you can explore it for yourself as, from a spiritual standpoint. You can kind of look at, like what you believe in, and then as that sort of changes with different, studying different systems and sort of having these worldly experiences, you can kind of adjust your spiritual standpoint, assuming you're open to that. Some people, are very, very religiously devout, and that's okay. But yeah, I'm very open to sort of exploring new religions. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I practice them. I guess technically right now I'm just a non-practicing Catholic for the most part, because I was baptized in that church. So, yeah, I mean, we can talk more about that too, but what about you?
For me, let's see. I was born, my mom raised me as a Christian. I'm pretty sure I was baptized as a baby. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. We went to a lot of churches growing up.
Okay.
I think Methodist, maybe
Sure.
Lutheran. there was a lot of churches we went to. So I don't know the differences between all of them for the most part.
Sure.
Because as of now, I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
Like kind of in between agnostic and atheist, I guess, because... Okay, I'll give a little bit of backstory. So at one point, I kind of just was like very confused with my faith, I guess, and didn't really... It could have been the churches we were going to. It could have been just me. But I felt like I wasn't getting what I needed out of that. And at one point, I actually was considering being a Buddhist. I had like started practicing it.
Really?
Yeah.
When was this? How old are you?
I was like 12. You know,
that's kind of cool.
It's
12-year-old Buddhist Miles.
I was not very. I think because you have to be. You can't eat meat. You can't kill anything. So bug. You can't kill bugs. You can't think dirty thoughts. So as soon as I heard that last one, I was out.
Yeah.
And that's not even a joke. So then I became an atheist at that point. And then, because I didn't know what agnostic meant, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But then I eventually became an agnostic.
Yeah.
More of an agnostic.
Which agnostic is just, you know.
You don't think there's a God, but you are open to the idea of there being a God.
There's a possibility.
Or many gods, whatever.
Yes, right.
Some
sort of spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like... This is something Connor and I had talked about with raising children, is we don't want... Because Connor, she has never really told me what she is, but I'm pretty sure she's agnostic, because she was also born Christian and brought up that way, but now, you know, she stopped going to church as well. And I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so with raising kids, we think... Like for us, this is just Connor and I's opinion, but we think it's important to, our plan is to raise them as agnostics, and we're gonna show them like the main religions, so that they're allowed to make their own judgments, beliefs, that kind of thing, so that, you know, if they want to believe in Buddhism or Christianity or Catholicism,
yeah.
Thank you, that they can, or become Jewish or
Shintoist.
I'm just gonna stop naming all of them, but we would show them, you know, that there are other paths as well, and you don't have to become an agnostic to be in our family. You know.
Yeah.
We would welcome anyone.
I like that as a practice, honestly. Mm-hmm. 'Cause it's like.
Because I think it's important to not force your religion, because that's what I felt like when I was growing up, was that I was being forced to be a Christian.
Yeah.
And my mom, like, now is, I'm pretty sure she's still kind of mad at me that I'm not.
Sure.
And I mean, that kind of hurts, because, you know, I want to be accepted as who I am, not that I have to be a Christian.
Right. Yeah. You shouldn't have to be forced to. I like, well, the idea, I think, one of the things I love about religion is sort of, well, for one, I think sometimes people can take things too literally or too seriously sometimes, and I think really a lot of time religion is good because it gives us sort of a set of like morals and values, and growing up that can help sometimes. I mean, you know, as a Catholic, they, you know, would teach us lessons, you know, just, you know, every Sunday or whatever would be in church, they'd teach us, you know, the daily lesson for the day or for the week, you know, and I mean, that is nice, I think, from a community standpoint, and that was, I think, one of the reasons I, you know, had stuck around so later on in, you know, my high school career even, for a little while, you know, I stuck around there just to see people and have a sense of community, but like at the same time, you know, you shouldn't have to believe any one specific set of things, because part of it is the values and the ethics behind it, but also you've also got your beliefs, and you should be able to just believe whatever you want, I think. Now, you've got those parents, unfortunately, sometimes that are just very strict. Thankfully, mine were never that strict. I mean, we were sort of brought up that way. I mean, I just naturally went with them because they brought us to Catholic church, but I was able to choose that, you know, at one point for myself. Not because they told me to. And as a matter of fact, my brother isn't actually baptized, but I am. because I chose to at one point. That being said, I'm no longer really as involved with the Catholic Church, but still, it was at least my choice, and I can still choose now what I want to do and where I want to go from here.
Yeah. And on the morals topic, I guess I can find it hard to because you're threatening a child with you be good, you go to heaven, you do bad, you go to hell. Right. I don't think that's right, because that's part of the reason why we want to teach our kids that.
Right. You said religious, just teach them about different religions.
Yeah, but also to raise them as agnostic so that their morals are their own. They're not taught morals by a religion, and that the reason they should go into religion is because they want to believe in something, believe in a higher power or something, not because there's threats or there's what's the opposite of a threat? I forgot.
Rewards.
Yes, thank you. There's not a reward for being a good person. You should do it because you want to and you think it's right.
Right. I like that because it's so they can choose that if it naturally sort of aligns with what they've learned to believe in for themselves. So it's kind of cool. So I think raising them agnostic would be a good way to go if you want to show them that there's different ways of thinking and different ways of believing out there.
And it all comes down to the person too, because all of us have different friends.
Yeah.
Who were raised differently. I think Brian was raised, I believe, atheist. I'm not too certain. And a lot of, I think, my friends were Christians growing up because that's the culture that I was around at all the time. And it could have also, for me leaving Christianity, it could have also been, youth group. There was never really, since I was moving churches almost every year, there was never friends for me to make. And I also didn't think Christianity was right for me either, but...
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to know, do you know why your mom switched churches so much? Was it just to try to get you to open to different beliefs in Christianity?
I think it was a matter of the people at the church.
Oh.
At the first church we went to, it could have been the beliefs too, because there was Methodist. I think the first church we went to was Methodist, and I think that was where I was baptized. I believe that first church
was Methodist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was. I think it just because we had friends there, and the friends left, so I think it might have been that. I don't know. I'd have to ask her.
Sure.
And yeah, we would go to there was another church we went to, and I didn't really fit in there, I think, with the youth group because it was all older kids, and I have a hard time. I'm kind of antisocial, and so I don't see why I would go and do that kind of thing. So
yeah,
and going to church, because this is something I heard. I literally forgot where it was. I don't know where I heard it, but it was going to church is more for meeting people and having talking to people.
Right, that sense of community.
You can practice religion at any time. Oh, it was on a Scary Stories podcast that I listened to, so it's a little
I like scary stories of all things. That would be the one to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was about, you don't have to be at church to talk to God, is essentially what they were saying,
Okay.
You can be at home to talk to God, and you don't have to go to church to talk to God, and
right.
Yeah.
On that topic too, I mean, seeing religion in movies is kind of interesting too at times. I watched a movie that was very interesting. What was it? Was it a Russian film? I don't know. Hold on. It was called Winter Light, and it was an old film. It came out in '63. We watched it for our foreign film class. Swedish. It was a Swedish film, and it's it's all about sort of a pastor sort of giving up on God, actually. And it's kind of interesting to watch. I think movies that have different viewpoints on it, because like I said, there was Life of Pi, which was sort of open up to all things, or and there's movies that are also very Christian. We've talked about that because my school that I go to actually right now, my film school, is actually a Christian film school. So they have lots of top times where they talk about how to sort of push Christian themes in movies, and or how to act as a Christian in the film industry, sort of thing. I actually saw a lot of that on the LA trip I went on, talking to some of our contacts, because they were
of the Christian faith.
Yeah, which was interesting. But I think that I'm definitely more open to exploring different themes than my school is, and I think I find that with a decent amount of our students too, kind of would agree with me that it's sort of showing you can show different things if you want to in faith, or not in faith, in film. Doesn't have to be just one thing. I mean, it's ultimately up to what you believe, I guess. But as far as me, I'm kind of, if I ever show faith in film, I think it'll be sort of more it won't be
like an investigation kind of, but like more of like an outsider's look at it, rather
just
than
discussion, and sort of just kind of get the ball rolling in terms of exploring.
Yeah, a conversation.
Exploring faith a little bit more than just this is the one thing you need to believe this. Like what was it? Battlestar Galactica is I feel like it's very Christian. Definitely.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of just little references to like characters that could be seen as kind of like angels, and then like because they're sort of like a saving grace for people sometimes, and then like talk about there's a lot of talk about a singular God sort of thing. So I feel like it's very it does to push that a little bit sometimes. It's never too in your face about it, but it's just one of the things I've noticed about that show. But yeah, in terms of faith in film, I don't know what you think about all that, but like, yeah, I hope to, if I ever do it, I think I want to, keep it open to discussion.
And that, I
myself,
think, like the college that you're going to is part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because I think I knew about your Catholicism, but I didn't know that you were like a continuous, like you're still
exploring
technically
Christianity.
Catholic,
Oh, Catholic, yeah.
And that I knew your college was Christian, but I didn't know, I guess, why, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know either. It might just be the investors of the school wanting a certain specific kind of, what's the term, like reputation for the school, maybe. It could be part of it, because it is a relatively small school, so like maybe they want to just sort of establish it as sort of a wholesome Christian school. I don't know.
Why did you pick it though?
Oh, why did I pick it?
Yeah.
Just because it was a small environment. I wanted sort of a hands-on
similar
experience
environment to what we had, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our high school was, I wouldn't say it was openly Christian, but I felt there were a lot of people there. I think a lot of the teachers as well were Christian.
Yeah. And well, for me too, I think the actual Christian aspect of it wasn't really why I chose the school anyway. It was more so just
the film
side of it, yes, and the experiences with the teachers, because it was a relatively small faculty and small student body, so it was more of a chance to sort of meet one-on-one. On this last shoot I was just on, I learned a lot from my professor just about camera and setting up certain equipment that we had there, and that was great because it just got to be him and I one-on-one, and I got to ask him questions. So it's like that was kind of more the focus than it was Christian film school. I want to go specifically to a Christian film school because Calvin is like that too, a little bit. From what I understand, they're a religious sort of school or institution, kind of. I have a buddy that goes there, and again, I didn't really. I had considered it because of just hearing about it from some mutual contacts that had gone there, and about like the editing studios they had, or the equipment and stuff, not necessarily the religious aspect.
Because it was about what they had to offer rather than the religious standpoint.
Yeah, no, and I again, I don't think that it's the goal for me to I mean, I want to explore faith, and there was a group, I think, for a little while. One of the had like the religious, like the director of like religion and sort of, or spirituality, I think is what it was called, at our school. He was like sort of for the organizing like the Christian sort of events and like getting into talking about God and stuff. And I did go to that for a little while just to sort of see what it was like. But that was also sort of while early on where I was wanting to, connect with people and go out and meet with people. And
Yeah.
because that's a big part of film too, is meeting up with lots
Contacts
of
and
people
friends,
and talking and, going out and being social and, as opposed to just, sitting at home and just, kind of being a,
Saturday night.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Just kind of, just want to sit in and drink my little, I don't know, rosé, and I don't know. I don't fucking know. But no, ultimately I think it was just, again, about the community for me more than anything else, and sort of having a conversation saying, hey, what does this person believe versus this person versus this person, and get a whole, try to paint a whole picture as opposed to just looking at one specific thing, as one specific piece of the puzzle, you know what I mean? So I think that's always been part of it for me too. So
Yeah, because I mean that's kind of what religion is about. You can look at devout religious people, and they are not the whole. There are people who are on the opposite spectrum. I mean,
there's
you can't pick one person and say, "Oh, this is what represents all of Christianity,
all of Buddhism, or whatever."
Yeah,
I agree. Do you think that you'll ever change from being an agnostic?
I don't think so, to be honest.
And it's difficult to say because it could depend on having some really weird experience or that causes you to. I mean, you can't just change your faith overnight. You know what I mean? It's like,
I do think I can be closed-minded about faith. I think because for me it was a lot of, I felt I was being faith was religion was being forced on me. And so that now I've become very close-minded about it, and that I don't think I want to have religion again. Because some people, religion, it can be an important thing in their life. It can be their saving grace, whatever you want to call it. But for me, I just don't think that I need it to live,
Yeah.
Some people need it. I just don't think I do.
Well, okay, when we're talking about religion too, part of it is I think of just the belief system. I don't necessarily always think about the practices either. Because there's certain things you got to do for, if you're going to be Islamic or, or if you're, Buddhist or whatever, there's certain traditions that people have. And I don't know about everyone else, but even when I was, a Catholic, there were, I wouldn't always keep up with the practices, like going to confession or whatever.
Well, it's not for me. It's not just about the practices. It's,
right.
I believe
the belief
in science. I guess that
You're
that's
a Scientologist.
I'm a Scientologist.
Tom Cruise. Keep going.
I believe in the Big Bang. I believe in evolution. Sorry, evolution.
Evolution.
Okay. And I find it funny that Connor doesn't believe evolution exists, but also isn't a Christian. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not just the
what
two
else
opposing
is there?
sides.
I know, but what else is there for her to believe in though? If evolution is not it, and she doesn't believe in a religion.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question.
We don't have to get on this.
Yeah, we could always just ask Connor and see what she thinks.
Yeah.
I would be curious to hear what her thoughts are.
Yeah, because I've never really got a straight answer from her. So
yeah, it sounds like she's kind of closed-minded about it, or Yeah.
We can hop on a different
talk
topic
about that
because I think we have a good conversation about.
I'd say so.
Religion.
Yeah, as of right now, I think I'm sort of a Christian, or sort of transitioning into being a Christian, at least in terms of just that sense of community, and as a general belief, I guess for me, I believe there's some sort of higher power. I don't know if it's necessarily God. I'd want to explore that a little myself at some point. So I guess in a way I kind of take that from being an agnostic too, and just I don't know exactly what's out there, but I believe it could be God. It could be something else entirely. I've had very this might, I don't know, this sounds kind of weird. I've just had different spiritual experiences at times, and That's caused me to think different things, and I kind of want to explore that a little bit more, at times. So I think, just from an endpoint from where I am, I think I want to explore that for sure, and I think that's good that you want to explore that and teach your kids to explore that.
I want our kids to have more of an open mind than I do. So
sure, I think if I ever do have kids someday, I think I would want to, teach them to be that way as well.
Yeah, and also don't make them go to Sunday school.
Yes,
it sucks.
Yeah. But anyway, what else was there? Did we want to talk about?
Did you want to talk about music? I know that was on the list.
What else is on our list?
Race, gender, mental illness, comedy, and music. That's all we put.
That's all we put so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
We looked at this not that long ago. I don't know why I'm forgetting.
About 20 minutes ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the podcast started.
Ago. Yeah. Let's talk about. Yeah, let's talk about music. I don't know.
Because I didn't know you can start us off because you were the one that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just well, I've been thinking about getting into music as just creating music. Mm-hmm. And I've got a lesson later today actually, and I've been exploring concepts more, and just sort of my skills are getting better in terms of playing guitar. That's the only I guess we've already kind of talked about it a little bit because we talked about band the other week or whatever, but from a music standpoint, I don't know, I just I guess you and I have talked about this, but I wanted to talk with you a little bit about music and what kind of music you listen to and how often you listen to music. And I kind of listen to it all the time, definitely more than I listen to podcasts or anything like that. I've been actually thinking about trying to get back to taking more time to not just listen to music but also podcasts, news shows or whatever, and just because I know you've talked about while you work, you listen to podcasts or things like that, but it's kind of when what genres do you listen to, when you listen to certain genres, if you have a certain time that you like to listen to different stuff, and I don't know, just kind of hear your thoughts on it.
Before I get into that, I have a question for you. Are they lessons for your guitar lessons? Are they actual lessons, you're still learning, or is it more like a practice?
It's kind of a practice. It's more
because you know all the notes, right? I mean,
I know the notes. I know most of the chords. It's more so advanced stuff, and coming back with ideas I've had, and hey, I found this, and this. And then he'll kind of sort of point me in a direction of, okay, you can try this now. Go try this and see what you think about that. Mm-hmm. And then we sort of, can explore that just as a concept. Or if we want to get specific, very, very specific about stuff, and I don't know enough about that specific topic, we can talk about, let's say I want to play, jazz guitar. Mm-hmm. Jazz is very intricate, very, very difficult at times to play. And so you got to be, on point with it. So maybe I don't know enough about that. Okay, I ask him about it. Mm-hmm. And there were also just some gaps. I stopped doing lessons back in 2018 because I came down here for school, and
came down to GR for school.
Came down to
Traverse. No.
Yeah, GR.
Here.
Yeah.
You said here, and I was
here?
Bro, we're in Traverse City, bro.
But yeah, no, I went to GR for school, and
you took a break?
Yeah, I just kind of took a break, and then I came back to this a couple months ago just because there were some gaps I wanted to fill in. Mm-hmm.
And is it, sorry for interrupting, but is it more learning how to play specific songs, or is it more of how to make your own?
It's concepts, really.
Okay.
Music theory.
All right.
Things like that, just because I want to learn the tools necessary.
To make your own music.
Yeah, recently I've been exploring just how to articulate emotions with the music. Mm-hmm. So something that sounds very aggressive versus something that sounds very laid back, something that sounds very remorseful, something that sounds very wistful, and it's just different emotions. And because I want to learn how to articulate that stuff a lot more.
Have you thought about taking a music theory class at your college?
I would, but I don't think they have any.
Oh, okay.
Is the thing. It's such a small school and it's such a tight curriculum. It's just focused on film, really. Uh-huh. And there's some stuff that I could take for maybe sound design, which I do want to take some sound classes at some point, just because I think that'd be good to get into. Just
I've interrupted you twice now. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, it's good to ask questions, honestly, because that gives me things to talk about.
It helps your train of thought,
Yeah,
too.
but no, I do want to take some sound classes, and maybe if I can find some music theory classes at some point.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any that are available outside of taking like a college or something, that might be good, because then I can just sort of I actually listen to a lot of classical music at times, just to sort of understand where other people have gone, and sort of look at different things like that. I learned that what the tuning would be typically for like a trumpet when they're playing like jazz or blues or something, or and stuff like that. And so I learned to I've learned a lot about that, and how to sort of play for different styles, different environments with different musicians, and it's kind of cool to have done that so far already. But yeah, exploring actually music theory. I take a lot of notes now, a lot more than I used to back in the day, just because I'm getting a lot more scientific about it, and understanding, and because once I understand like the basic pieces of how things fit together, I can take those ideas and sort of run with them a little bit more and tweak them until they fit my methods. So it's kind of cool. But not just from a writing standpoint, but just looking at music in general, because we use music in movies too, and
Obviously,
we used that was the thing I forgot to talk about with the episode, was Coulter Wall. They use a Coulter Wall song just for a little bit. It's what he's listening to at the radio in the beginning. It's like, that's cool. I know Coulter Wall because he sounds a lot like Johnny Cash. But anyway, I don't know if you know who Johnny Cash is.
I do know who Johnny Cash is.
Are you sure?
I don't know if I've really listened to his music, but
yeah, no.
I'm aware of him.
Yeah, but anyway, and like listening to music too, and just like what emotions they give, and how it's articulated. It's fun to just explore different genres. So I guess a question for you: what is your favorite genre of music, if you have one? 'Cause it can also, I'm sure it can also depend on how you're feeling from time to time.
Moods. Yeah. Let me put it this way. I have two main playlists that I will listen to of music. This isn't the only two genres I listen to, but these are the two that I tend to gravitate towards. One is anyone can listen to them. They're on YouTube. You just look it up by the title. One's called Random Metal/Rock Shit, or Rock/Metal Shit, which is just metal rock type of music that gets me hard, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not like screamo, but like just stuff that gets me pumped. And then the other one is my Random Rap Shit playlist, which is just it started out with like finding these like 3 very like small like indie rap songs, and I just started building on that, and over the time I've added more rap songs that I liked before I got into indie rap, but now I think I'm more into indie rap than I was before, which is a lot of it's similar, but a lot of it is very meaningful. Like one of my favorite artists, they have their own podcast as well. It's Kill Bill and Rav. Their podcast is called We Don't Suck, but they have a YouTube channel called Chippy Chippy, so it's like they have so many different names.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listen to rap and metal, rock, hard rock, I guess. I started out like my mom would play like 80s, 90s, 70s stuff, that kind of stuff on the radio. So I know like a lot of the words to all those songs, and that's why I've stopped listening to them, because I know all the songs really.
Right.
At least all the more popular ones anyway.
Yeah.
And early 2000s, I guess, too. And so then I kind of went into like rap. When I was young, my favorite artist was Usher. I think my aunt got me into it, but I think at the time I thought it was rap, even though it's more like R&B.
It's it's different.
Yeah. But then I've gotten more into rap, metal. I listen to Barnes Courtney. I don't really know what he would be categorized as.
Yeah.
I've gotten into I get into weird stuff like Glass Animals. Glass Animals is kind of weird, but they make really good music. They just released a Dreamland album, which was sick. But yeah, mainly rap, I think.
Okay.
In all honesty.
Sure. Well, you talked about wanting to get into that too, right?
Yeah, I do. I don't know how good I would be, and I can't make beats to save my life, so...
I can.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Right now? Just throw down a beat.
Yeah, throw down a beat, dude.
We'll put that in here. We'll just steal one from the internet.
No.
No.
I mean, yeah, I think I always kind of wanted to do that, but that might just be a fantasy that probably will never happen.
I mean, you can explore it at the very least if you want, and just never release it if you think it's terrible.
Yeah, probably would be.
But I say definitely try. I'd be curious to see what Miles B comes up with. I don't know. What would your rap name be?
I mean, we used to know our old
White Cubed.
White Cubed.
I
was Fat Boy with four eyes.
Because 4 eyes, yeah. Glasses. There was Sleazy J, which was my favorite name.
Which was Jacob.
Yeah.
And then yours
and
was
then
12
mine was
gauge.
12 gauge, which I was fine with.
It's pretty cool.
Henny G, 12 gauge. Yeah.
Yeah, Henny G's good too.
I like Henny G. Or 12 gauge. Henny 12 gauge. Combination of the two. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. What else can we call you? I think of something.
Call me Miles.
Call me Banquet. The Banquet's throwing down the track.
I listen to, for I guess work, I just listen to mainly podcasts, but sometimes I'll be in the mood to listen to music, and then I mow lawns as well, so at work, not just on my during my free time or whatever.
They said I Mulan, like Mulan.
I mow lawn. No, I mow lawns.
Mulan.
I mow lawns at work. So usually I just listen to metal, or yeah, it's typically metal.
Something loud enough you can hear it over the lawnmower.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just it's typically podcasts or the playlists that I have, or maybe I prefer listening to albums. Like if I find one song I like, I will listen to the whole album. As it turns out, I'll like most of the album anyway, which is always cool for me.
No, it's good. It's good to listen to an album, I think, to especially if it's one where it's like it tells the whole story, like Kendrick Lamar stuff, like
I don't listen to his stuff, but okay.
Okay, that's fair.
It's fine. I don't get into mainstream rap. I'll say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Eminem is probably like the most mainstream I'll get, but not really. Childish Gambino as well, but he stopped.
He did kind of. But no, yeah, just especially if like it tells the story over the course of the album, I love that. But yeah, sorry, you keep going.
You're fine. I was I like one of my favorite types of albums are the ones that every song like connects.
Yeah.
There's one album that got me into that, which was Linkin Park's The Hunting Party. Okay. Which is like every song leads into the next one, which is just it's a really, I don't know. A lot of people say it's not a good album, but that was like not the first music of theirs that I heard, but it was the first album of theirs that I had listened to, like the whole thing, and I just thought it was really good.
Yeah.
And a lot of Kill Bill and Rav's stuff, all their when they make full albums, it all leads into the next one, which is cool. So
yeah.
And what about you? So I don't want to be the
I was gonna say that made me think is did I ever send you the video for Breeze Blocks?
I don't think so.
It's really good because it's like it's a story that's like and that was something we talk about too is music videos, because like I don't know if you'd ever want to get into music videos, but I mean,
yes,
maybe sometimes I would.
Of course I would.
Make it sound so obvious. Like I don't know what you want to do, Miles. Just obviously, Henry.
Obviously, Henry. No, we've talked about it before. That I'd be down to make a music video.
But like, yeah. Where's I going with this? Yeah. So that music video was kind of cool because it was a story and it was told backwards and like reversed. It was kind of cool. But yeah, I think music videos would be fun to make. Just to explore the creativity, because like there are times where I'll see music videos and like, and they're kind of like basic, or sometimes they follow the story to a T. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be fun to sort of try to see if I can come up with something. Like I look at songs and I'm like, maybe I could have thought of this a little bit more creatively, you know?
Yeah, I do think that music videos are becoming maybe less common
Yeah.
because there was MTV, VH1. You'd watch the music videos on there,
Yeah.
and now I don't have cable, so I don't know if they're even still playing music videos. I don't think they are. But now it's like you can only find that kind of stuff on YouTube now,
Yeah, pretty much.
and most people just want to listen to the song and not watch.
The video.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a sketch thing.
Mm-hmm. Which for sometimes music videos can be annoying because it's like if you put them in a playlist, you have to listen to the whole thing.
Especially if there's like extra audio at the beginning or
like
in
a
the
conversation or something. Yeah.
middle. Right. Yep.
You just want to listen to the song and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's pretty much. I mean, all I wanted to hear about was just sort of your.
What about
your
you?
tastes.
Like for driving or
Driving.
if you're allowed to listen to music at work, I don't think you are because it's a retail.
I do anyway.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I will. I mean, not all the time, especially when I'm dealing with customers, but.
No, you still do.
Yeah, I just I blur it on the radio. Especially if it's explicit. No, I try to stay. You know, I like to look a lot at like actually YouTube's just like trending for like music, just to see what new stuff people are putting out there on YouTube. And I do want to try to eventually get. I don't have Spotify or Apple Music, but I might. I think I've been thinking about getting that at some point, just to sort of explore different stuff, because I use that Pandora, which is free, so I use that to explore a lot.
Yeah.
I'll listen to a lot of blues just because that's probably my style of music that I'm most comfortable playing. So like, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, even Eric Clapton, kind of those more mainstream. But like, in terms of exploring, I'll do a lot where, you know, I think like you, I kind of like to look at either the album that a song comes from if I like it, or the artist and what else they've done. You know, I was listening to one not that long ago by like Collective Soul, and I had never really gotten into Collective Soul, so I started looking at that, you know, things like that. One of the things I've never really actually gotten into a lot was indie stuff, so, you know, indie rock, things like that. I think that would be good to explore that a little bit more. It's probably one of the only few I haven't really explored that much, with the other exception being country. Because that's the only genre that's not really my style, but blues is fairly close to country too at times, so that's probably as close as I'll get. But no, yeah, blues is one of the main ones I listen to just to when I'm trying to think of stuff to write. But I do listen to, you know, rap. I listen to, you know, rock and roll, classic rock, heavy metal. Pretty much, you know, any genre you can really think of. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I really have any particular artists that I would name as being one of my favorites or anything like that. I mean, obviously I've mentioned, you know, like heavy metal, like Metallica, or, you know, even Alice in Chains a little bit. There's sort of that, and kind of, there's also like grunge, but you know, so classic bands like that. I mentioned Kendrick Lamar not that long ago, you know, and sort of that mainstream stuff, and then also, you know, exploring. I like to explore, you know, like kind of like you, just sort of explore shit, find different stuff, and see what I like and what I don't like, you know, which is good from a music standpoint, because you get to sort of think about, hey, you know, I can once I realize I can start identifying music or classifying it based on how it fits with other music, or like how it's like other music, like, oh, okay, this is like that one riff from that one song, you know, and I can sort of, it helps to sort of articulate. Again, I use that word a lot right now. Articulate. It sounds so smart. I can use that to sort of help classify or understand the music, so that one, I can draw from that from a creative standpoint, but also that way I'm not accidentally plagiarizing a tune or something from another person. Although I do love it when artists, like especially like rap, will use samples from like older music, especially if that works really well. Like there was one song, what was it? I think it was called "Give Me Some More." It was by Busta Rhymes. It was from a while. It was an old song, but it used a film score from a movie. And I got a message from my buddy Ethan because I don't remember what it was called, the movie, but it was sort of an old kind of thriller, and it was like a sort of weird kind of like it had like a weird flow to it, and it worked. It just worked so well. It was great, especially once my buddy actually played me the original score.
Yeah.
So I do love when rappers can take old samples from old songs and use those. But no, yeah, that's just kind of a smattering of stuff, for the most part. No one particular thing. Again, it's very much subjective to what I'm feeling at the time, or how I'm feeling. Like I want to listen to something like this. A lot of the time it is sort of kind of more mellow sounding songs than happy. Because if something's too cheesy, it's like,
yeah,
why would I listen to it?
Yeah,
it doesn't make me feel anything as much. It doesn't get me on my feels.
You need pain to feel anything.
I need to be able to listen to it while I'm sitting in a bathtub crying and drinking. No, but
I wanted to say, if you're interested in any indie rap or anything like that, I would recommend 2 channels.
2 Chainz?
I do like 2 Chainz, but North Funk with the O's and the U replaced with X's. That's good. Like they feature Freddie Dredd, who is a good rapper. Suicide Boys. They have a lot of good stuff on there. And then also Rhyme Sayers Entertainment.
Okay.
They have Aesop Rock. They have Prof, who I've gotten more into Prof recently. I think I've talked about him on the podcast before. And as well as Aesop Rock, he's good. But yeah, Rhyme Sayers Entertainment and North Funk, both really good indie rap channels.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can explore those. I haven't heard of them, so that'd be good to explore, I think. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, do you? I mean, probably not recently because of COVID, but concerts. Have you gone to a lot of concerts?
I've only been to 2.
I've only been to a few myself, and I definitely want to go to more at some point. Especially like right now, I feel like college is the time to go to concerts. It'd be good to go.
Yeah,
just to see stuff.
The first one I went to was with my mom, and I don't even know how we got the tickets or whatever, but it was the son of Bob Dylan. So no one I knew and no one I gave a shit about. Sorry,
damn,
the son of Bob Dylan. But
the disrespect.
I don't really listen to you.
Do you listen to Bob Dylan?
I don't listen to him either. No.
Damn,
and then last year it was actually the second episode of the podcast. I can't remember.
I remember you telling me about it. Yep.
Yeah, we went to Hootie and the Blowfish. That's what it was.
Which is dope.
And the opening was, oh my god, what's the name of the band? I like them more than Hootie and the Blowfish, but what did they? It's been 1 week since I looked at you or whatever. That's one of their songs.
Okay.
And they did the Big Bang Theory theme.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
I'm just gonna look up. It's been 1 week. Bare Naked Ladies.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah. I think I like Bare Naked Ladies more than I like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
So that was an okay concert, but I think there's like I'd actually want to see like Fall Out Boy. Oh yeah, I'm also into like emo punk, I guess, kind of. Just Fall Out Boy, who's not really emo punk anymore, but
yeah.
I'd like to see Fall Out Boy in concert. I'd like to see Five Finger Death Punch in concert. Like a lot of their music videos feature the footage from their concerts, and it just looks really cool.
Yeah.
And maybe yeah.
Maybe yeah.
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 I don't know. A lot of the bands I listen to don't really come around here, or when they do, they're expensive. So they don't come around here.
Yeah. No more.
So yeah, I do want to go to more concerts, but I think I prefer just listening to their songs.
Sure. Well, and the thing too is sometimes I can appreciate certain songs if they're live too. I think a little bit more. I mentioned the trombone shorty thing, and you know how that
You've been
very interesting. You know,
yeah.
live.
What
That
the
sounded.
fuck? Yeah,
There's a trombone, you fucking moron.
Sure, that's what that was.
Okay, Miles, you're sounding a little bit dirty right now. You need to tone it down. I'm
Okay,
just saying.
sorry.
But anyway, yeah. No, yeah. Some things can sound a little bit different live too. Like, I think part of it can be your performance on stage. You know, like when I was seeing that band Vintage Trouble that opened for him. You know, like they were very people oriented. You know, band. Like they got the crowd going. You know, doing sort of the crowd surfing thing, kind of high energy. And so I think there's something to be said about their on-stage performance too. An artist's on-stage performance can be interesting, and how they play that can really, I think, affect too their street cred, or, their reputation, I think, and how much I listen to them as well.
Is there other concerts that you've?
The first one I went to was Joe Bonamassa, which was pretty cool because he's like a blues guitarist and he was really good. I saw that in Detroit at the Fillmore, which was amazing. Or was it the Fillmore? No, I don't think it was. I don't remember, but it was a really good concert, really great venue. There's actually been a couple concerts up here in Traverse that I've been to, just out in Interlaken. The
That's
Center
where I
for the
saw
Arts, or whatever.
the son of Bob Dylan. But
Okay.
by the way, at Interlaken.
Yeah. I saw Johnny Lang and Buddy Guy. Buddy Guy was really fun because he's an older musician now, but he had a very, very fun sort of stage presence. He got the crowd going pretty good because they enjoyed his little antics. He had just little things, and he whether they were little movements or little gags or whatever, and he just it was very endearing, and it was very what's the word? I don't know. It was a fun experience, seeing that, and then Peter Frampton, which was really good, and the Allman Brothers, well, Greg Allman, and that was really good because I like the Allman Brothers music too. Yeah, no, those are great concerts. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've been to. Metallica. I saw Metallica at Comerica Park, which was great because it was like a whole stadium, and they did pyrotechnics. I was all the way across the field, and I could feel the fire. It was insane.
Wow.
So that was cool, and they were up. What was it? Volbeat and Avenged Sevenfold opened up for.
Wow. I do listen to Avenged Sevenfold,
which was good. Yeah, they're okay. I don't really. They're definitely part of that sort of newer, sort of wave of metal. I think that I didn't really latch onto as much as like some of the old school stuff, but I don't mind their sound. There's some good songs in there, Nightmare and all those, and and
Nightmare.
And some of they're less mainstream, but instead of like probably their most popular song. But yeah, no, that was a good concert. It was, for the most part, it was just me and my dad that have gone. I'd like to go to some with probably some of my college friends, like my buddy Ethan. He's really big into sort of the older style, like folk and music and blues and all that too. So I hope we get to go to some concerts sometime. There was one I went to in Grand Rapids it was like an orchestra. And there was a guy playing like sort of Spanish style guitar, and it was really cool because he made the strings almost sound like a snare drum at one point. And I don't know how he did it.
Wow.
But it was so cool. It sounded like a snare drum. And I was just like, wow, that is so cool. I was looking at him the whole time, like, because I was really tired. And at one point, I actually started falling asleep during the orchestra part. And I had woken up and he started playing guitar, and I watched him and just like listening to it. I was like, that sounds really good. And then he did that, and I was just so amazed by it. I don't remember what the orchestra was called. And I wish I did, because that was amazing. But, yeah. That was pretty solid. So, definitely like to go to some more once COVID is over. But.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess we can.
It's about that time. I mean, unless there's anything else you wanted to talk about.
I mean, comedy. Did you want to talk about comedy? We
can talk a little bit about comedy. Like, I don't know. I just, well, because you had mentioned about kind of. I don't know if you want to go into the topic of cancel culture, but okay. Well, I don't know. It's like I've talked about this before with my dad a little bit, but like, I'm always interested to see comedians and especially nowadays with cancel culture, because it's like some things, you can't say it, you can't say something, or you can't make a certain type of joke. There have even been times where I've made a joke on the podcast, and
as we
and
both
you're like,
done.
you or I have made a joke, and like, don't make that joke, come on. But like at the same time, I don't know.
Most of the time when I say that, almost every time, I'm joking with you about making that joke.
Yeah, I know.
But you do, everyone looks back and is like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have actually said that, though.
Right. And part of it's just like, it's like, it sucks because it's like, on the one hand, you want to make that joke because you think it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But like, at the same time, you also have to think about, what other people think. But like, I also feel I feel like you shouldn't have to think about that. But like at the same time, it's for an audience. It's like, especially if you're like a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, and it's partly about what you find funny as well. Because personally, I think edgy humor is funny.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of humor I'm gonna make.
Right.
So it's like, that can get you canceled essentially.
Yeah.
For being edgy. And like that's the only kind of fucking. I watch a lot of gaming videos, and all of the quote unquote gamers, the YouTube gamers that I watch are all edgy. Oni plays, Super Mega.
Yep.
I've stopped watching Game Grumps as much. I just watch the animated, but
those little shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just tend to like stuff that pushes the boundary of what is okay and what is not. I think it's funnier that way.
I think so too. It almost just feels like if anyone complains about it, it's like almost like they can't take a joke sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's like they point that out on the regular.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it's like, and I do appreciate when comedians will like actually call people out for that, or like, make references to the fact that people, like what was it? My buddy was watching. Well, we were at work one day. We were really bored, and he was watching a special by Anthony Jeselnik.
I haven't heard of it.
And he was talking about how what was it? He made a joke like something. It was something like only dumb women come to my shows because they get really mad about it or whatever, or something. It was like something about how like women get mad at his jokes or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, only stupid women come to my shows or something. And smart women just stay away, because they get mad or something. And like when people can call like audience members out for being hecklers or for not really being able to take a joke, I think it's kind of cool, because it's like comedy. I feel like comedy is meant to push the boundaries and talk about
funny
things
when
that...
you think it's funny when comedians own the libs?
Own the libs. Check out this video, man, of a comedian absolutely roasting one of those libtards.
Sorry, interrupted you. I thought it was funny.
No, it was good. It was funny. My disc is almost full, Miles.
Dude, it's disgusting.
Miles? Wow.
You should empty your disc.
Disc shame you like
You should empty your disc, dude.
Yeah, I should. But no, it's like, and they can call people out for that. It's kind of cool, I think. Because, like I said, it should sort of push the boundaries. And comedy is like a way to talk about stuff, I think, that we don't want to usually talk about.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. But
even though we did most of this whole podcast episode without using comedy, which is good.
Yeah, which is good. Every hour.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I don't know what else I would say on the topic. I think comedy is an important part of culture, because it's so simple, and if it's done right, it goes well.
Well, even just cancel. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
Cancel culture is just like so disappointing to me sometimes, because it's like, we should give people the chance to grow and change. You know what I mean? And sort of learn from their mistakes, and we seem to sort of stop. And I mean, it's one thing if it's something like really terrible that someone's done, but like if it's, I don't know, like the whole James Gunn thing, where his Twitter comments or whatever it was from like 10 years ago, or at this point,
there's
like 12.
There's actually something very similar too that just happened. Not Justin Roiland. What is his name? The guy who created Community and Rick and Morty. Dan Harmon. He's like been under fire for a sketch about the molestation of a baby or a child, even though he was already pointed out like 5 years ago or whatever about it, and he apologized then.
And
They brought it back up because someone like reposted it.
Mm-hmm.
And Adult Swim was even like, because people are trying to get Rick and Morty canceled because of it.
Okay.
And Adult Swim was like, he's already apologized. He has no, we understand that is not funny, but we know like he's already apologized.
Right.
You know, he understands his mistakes.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's completely necessary to bring it back up, even though he's already gone through the.
Yeah, and like I feel like at that point it's like almost like they just have a problem with him, and so they find some way to bring up something that that and all of us have made mistakes in the past,
Yeah.
Maybe not always to that level. And I mean, yeah, I'd say that's a pretty rough thing to joke about. But like,
yeah,
because I do think there is a limit at times, to what you can really or what you should joke about, just from my standpoint, I guess, and that goes back to sort of finding what you think is funny.
Yeah.
And so like for me,
Everyone's
that
different.
wouldn't be funny. I wouldn't really, especially because I think if I think about like from the flip side, you're right.
Yeah, just burping. I just don't want to.
I thought you were gonna like
about to vomit.
Yeah, vomit into the VR.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I've been watching like a lot of like VR like Skyrim videos. they're just fucking around and doing random stuff, and also poking holes at the software in Bethesda because
of course
the mechanics just are funny sometimes. But back to the subject. Yeah, it's like because on the flip side, I think about like too like what would someone think when they hear this joke? I kind of think about like who I'm saying it to, and how they might react. Especially if it's like I'm making a joke that sort of might be edgy, and they could think, well, they could just be like, so you're just kind of like it's not that funny sort of thing, and sort of try to refute, I guess, what I'm joking about, and like so there is, I think, a point to be made about thinking about being conscious of what people will enjoy and what people won't, and that's part of that's just knowing your audience, I think, too. I don't know if what?
Okay. We'll wrap up because I can see at the bottom that you got like 2 minutes left.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we probably should. I didn't even look at that. But yeah, I don't know if I'd really get into comedy myself, but I mean, maybe I'd be curious to try.
I mean, we're technically doing comedy.
Well, like but like stand up.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, that's been podcasting with Miles and Henry.
Yeah, thank you for listening. I think I wanted to mention this earlier in the podcast before we got into the serious talk, but like this was all just our opinions.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt,
Yep. Yeah.
If you have your own opinions, I don't want to hear it.
Shout them in the comments.
I don't want to hear it. No, don't put it in the comments. I don't want to hear it.
Let me send you Miles' email, and you can comment your email, and I'll email you Miles' email, and you can shout it.
Yeah, so thank you for listening. If you want us to talk about anything else serious, you can actually leave a comment about that.
Yep. If you don't want us to talk about anything anymore, leave a comment.
And we'll flag it as inappropriate.
Yeah.
Well, here, I mean, we can just use this mic for now.
Okay.
So, yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
I don't think I have anything else to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We'll probably do more because I do like these conversations. I mean,
yeah,
it's good.
It's good to talk about it. Yeah, just actually getting like our serious thoughts into the mix because I like to sort of dance around what I actually think about things sometimes.
And I do like having serious conversations with you, even though like 99% of the time it's always a joke.
It is always a joke because jokes are better, Miles.
I know, I get it. Jokes are easier to make than showing your real emotions.
Miles, you know what? And also, we just don't need to be serious sometimes. We just need to have a laugh. It's not as serious as we always think it is.
Yeah. So yeah, the comedic portion of our podcast will continue next week.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back in business. Yep.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll miss you. Miles is trying to kill me. Someone help me. Someone help me. Miles is trying to kill me.